and here is my sweet cream or sweet corn casserole. I got 14 little circles out of this. Oh my gosh, that's 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. And here we are. I didn't think it was gonna pop out that easily. I gotta get to chopping those onions. And you know what I forgot on my plate? A piece of sausage. Putting this on top. And oh my gosh, these are delicious. Isn't that cute? And there, that's the finished one. I wish I had videotaped in there. Howdy everyone, this is Tricia and welcome to my channel. Today I will be making some chocolate chip cookies. I'll be making 2 batches, one with chocolate chip and the second one with chocolate chip and walnuts. So I'm going to give you the recipe for just one batch and you can just double it up and you can decide if you want to put walnuts in it or not. So let me go ahead and read you off the ingredients. You're going to need 3/4 cups of white sugar, 3/4 cups of brown sugar. And I like to use the dark, but this is what I have right now, the light sugar. But try to get the dark brown sugar for that. You'll need a cup of soft butter, so that's 2 sticks, softened butter. You'll need a teaspoon of vanilla, so I've got some vanilla extract right here. You'll need 1 egg, 2 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, just Arm & Hammer baking soda, whatever brand you want to use, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1 cup of chopped walnuts. I got some more walnuts, but this is what I have I want to use also. You'll need a package of chocolate chip chips. How's that? Okay, so that's the recipe for one batch of cookies, and but I'm going to double everything. So as I'm doing this, you'll see that I'm using twice as much of what I just called out. The recipe will be down in the description below, so no worries, just copy and paste it to your own laptop or computer. Okay, let's get to making these cookies. We don't want to waste any time. All right, I'm going to start off in a big bowl, and I've already got my oven preheating at 375 degrees Fahrenheit. So I needed a cup of butter. This is actually 2 cups because, like I said, I am going to double everything. So I got 2 cups of butter in here that is slightly melted a little bit. I had to go ahead and just resource to my microwave to get it soft, but just make sure it's not hot. Okay, and then I've also got 3/4 cup of brown sugar. I got to double it, so I've got another 3/4 cups right here. Now I need 3/4 cups of white sugar. And the brown sugar was just lightly packed. It wasn't pressed down, hard packed. So 3/4 cup of white sugar, doubling it up. A little bit more. As you can see, I'm not doing a precise like leveling it off or anything like that. There we go. 3/4 cups. If you want to use a sugar substitute for either of the sugars, go right ahead. I'm going to need an egg. There's 1. Since I'm doubling it, here's another egg. 1 teaspoon of vanilla. So again, I'm doubling it, so I'm going to do 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And then I'm going to go ahead and start mixing this up. You can use a hand mixer if you want. You can use your large stand mixer. 1, 2. There's something that I don't want to forget. The recipe does not call for this, but I decided to put some in, and that is cinnamon. So this is completely optional. I feel like it gives the cookies a warmer flavor, which is great for the fall, for this coming season that's upon us, even though it's hot as heck and it seems like fall will never happen. And I put about 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon the last time. I kind of like dashed it in, but it was like half a teaspoon. So of course this time I'm going to do a whole teaspoon, and I'm just using the 1/2 teaspoon measure because my teaspoon is wet with vanilla. Okay, and of course this isn't a precise measuring. Put as little as you want or as much as you want, or not at all. Some ground cinnamon. Okay, so I've got my butter, my sugars, and my eggs, my vanilla, and a dash of cinnamon. And I'm just going to mix all of this really well. I'm using a whisk. You can use an electric hand mixer, like I said. I'm just going to do it the old-fashioned way. And it's already getting all nice and creamy together because the butter was really soft. And I want to show you what it looks like. There you go. It's looking creamy in there. Okay, so now, after we got it creamy, and I'm looking at my little recipe that I wrote for myself, I'm going to be adding some flour, baking soda, and salt. And I'm going to add the flour in slowly. You can sift the flour if you like. So I'll be right back because I need to get all those items ready. All right, I've already mixed this all up really well and nice and creamy. So now I'm going to add my flour, and I'm going to need 2 1/4 cups of flour for my batch. So I'm doubling it, so that's 4 1/2 cups of flour. And it's great to double it up because then you can give it away, make little gift plates with them, or little cookie tins, or little boxes, or even little baggies. So you can give these cookies away. And the way that I'm going to be making them is I'm going to be dropping a big tablespoonful of them on my baking sheet. So I'm going to have these large cookies. So you could actually like maybe wrap up 2 of them together and put a little bow on it and give them away as little gifts to your family as they come visit, or you want to take them to work. I don't know if you can take home baked stuff to school, but if you can, there you go, or give it just to the teachers. So I'm just getting this in there and working it in there so I can get all the flour. I didn't throw the whole thing all at once because I didn't want it to be too heavy to mix around. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put in the rest of this flour in there and work it in, and then I'll be right back. All right, I forgot a big old step. While sifting your flour, which is really the best thing you can do, you don't have to, but you should add your baking soda and your salt to the flour and mix that into the dry flour before you add it into your cookie mix, which you've got so far with the butter and the sugar. I didn't do that, but I'm going to go ahead and add it now. It's going to be a little harder to get that dispersed. And I'm going to need a teaspoon of baking powder for my batch. So that means I'm going to put 2 for my double batch. So I'm just going to sprinkle it around. Work it in as much as I can. This is what you can do if you forget to add ingredients later, then you can just make sure you sprinkle them well. Some more baking soda. If I was mixing this in the machine, it would be so much better, but I kind of like doing things by hand. Now this gives me one last thing to have to pull out. Okay, so I've got it in there. Half a teaspoon of salt. So 1 teaspoon for my double batch. Spread some out in the bottom there. Okay. And those are all the main ingredients to making a cookie dough. But now what we want to do is we want to make chocolate chip. A single batch would call for a cup of chocolate chip cookies or more if you like more. So I'm using a whole package, which is about 2 cups. This is 12 ounces, so it's not really 12 cups, but in chocolate chip measurements, it's 2 cups. So I'm just going to pour the whole thing in there. Okay, I'm going to work these chocolate chips into my dough as best as I can, and I'm going to come back because I'm going to make a batch of just chocolate chips, and then we're going to leave half of the batch, and we're going to add some walnuts to that, and then we'll do some chocolate chip and walnut cookies. But you get the idea of what the dough or the cookie dough should be looking like. Right there. All right, so I'll be back. Okay, I've got my cookie dough all nice and mixed up with my little chocolate chips, as you can see, and I've got this big old spoon. You can use any measurement you want to make your cookies. I want some big ones, so I'm going to be using this big old spoon just to drop them on there. And I'm going to drop probably about 4 and then just 2. These are going to be really big and they're probably going to spread. They'll probably stick together, but that's okay. Let's see how many I can fit on my cookie sheet. I put foil and I sprayed it with baking spray. If you have some non-stick cookie sheets you want to use or your silicone pads, go ahead and use that. That's about how big they are, about 2 inches. And there you go. That's what I'm going to do, and I'm just going to keep baking until I've got enough chocolate chip cookies that I want, and then the rest of this, I'm going to add walnuts to it. These are going to bake for about 10 minutes. You're going to pull them out. They're going to be slightly soft on the center. You're going to go ahead and leave it like that. That's the way they should be. You're going to let them cool on the cookie sheet a couple of minutes, and then you can place them on a cooling rack if you wish, and then they'll be ready to eat. So I've got my oven ready, so I'm going to go ahead and stick these in there, and we'll be back to show you how they come out. And of course, I'm going to be making a batch with walnut. You're not going to see that, but I'll show you the cookies when they're all done. All right, here is a batch of cookies already done. These are the chocolate chip cookies. This is not even half of the cookie dough that I created, so it would be half of one batch. And as you all know, I doubled it up, so I'm going to have 4 times this many cookies. I decided that I would go ahead and show you what this chocolate chip cookies will look like. Just imagine them with some walnuts in there if you want to put that in there. If not, just make chocolate chip cookies. Look at that. They're so good. Let's take a little taste. The cinnamon in there is what gives it that extra little touch, that warm fall feeling. So let me know what you think about my recipe. Let me know if you're going to try it. And if you have a different recipe, if you want to share that with us, go right ahead. Leave that right down below in the comments. Please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and don't forget to share in your social medias. And as always, enjoy.